Alright, so the situation here, the customer calls me and says that he has two keys and they both are not working in the ignition. This one is clearly way more worn than this one. They were cut with a different process. This one was cut with a wheel. You can kind of just tell because of the little peaks right here. This one was cut with something like this. Like a little, just a cutting bit right here. So I'm gonna go ahead. You know what, let's go to the car and test them out just to make sure, because sometimes customers can be wrong. You can't always assume that they're right, even though it is their situation. And step in here. First, I'm going to check the steering wheel is unlocked. I'm going to check the smooth key first. So just put it in. It's absolutely not turning. Check the other key, it is not turning. Okay. And these both, step out here real quick. Little tight spaces sometimes. Both of these do. I don't know why the alarm started going off when I pressed lock, but that's okay. So both of them are programmed to the vehicle. So they should work, and they do work in the door as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and set these here. I'm gonna get a CY24 or a, what is it, a Y1. I want to say the wrong thing here. A Y159. So that's what I'm looking for here. Just pull one of these guys out. Just gonna cut a metal key, do some lubrication in the steering wheel, or in the ignition. Alright, so on the X-Horse app, I'm going to press cut by bidding, type in CY24, pick the first one here. This is going to be 8 cuts, and I'm going to go ahead and, of course, turn on the machine. Okay, so we're going to clamp this key in here. I'm going to go ahead and press decode. Just going to get the key cuts here. Just want to watch it and make sure it is properly doing it. He did say these were like more freshly cut keys. They're not, well, at least this one isn't very old. I can tell the other one is. It's super worn down. Alright, I'll take this off of here. Next thing I want to do is just match up. Let's see if I can show you guys. So just kind of take a look right here, make sure everything looks right. It'll look a little different because it was cut differently. And then it just disconnected again for some reason. I'm going to press find bidding. Make sure that the key cut that it decoded actually comes back with a proper, this is a Dodge Durango, by the way. It'll say that in the title. So yes, it does come back with a proper key cut. It comes back with a code and the biddings and everything. So I'm going to set the camera up here, cut a Y159. Go ahead and press cut key. So the key is done being cut now, and I'm just doing this metal key just for the sake of reconditioning the ignition. And wipe off the clamp to make sure next time we're ready when I need to use it. Put the brush back. I am going to deburr this key just a little bit. This is just how I do it. I use a cordless Dremel and use a wire wheel on it to deburr my keys. Most of the time, that's what I do. I'll go out here with both of his keys. Turn off the fan. Looks like he might have already tried some WD-40. It's not a bad call by any means. Okay, so I use PB Blaster or Blaster silicone lubricant. So I'm just going to go ahead and put some of that in here. I already shook it up a bit. I'm gonna grab the metal key. Make sure it's not turning it right off the bat. Spray some of that in here. Kind of use a towel to get the rest up. I don't want to get it all over the place. So first thing I'm going to try, I did forget one tool. I'm just going to rake it back and forth, kind of loosening up the pins. I will try this with a key blank as well. I'm actually going to go get 2 more things. I'll cut the walk-in for you guys. So what I like to use for this is some of these, some like smaller vice grips. I have large ones right here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and grab an extra, I'm not gonna actually use a key for this. I'll use an actual rake that I use to pick locks, because it'll give me the most movement possible. I'll show you guys. Usually I don't shut the door, but I'm just doing it for the so it'll stop dinging. Okay, so I'm going to be using this rake just to kind of loosen everything up as much as possible past to the key bittings. So I'll do it on the top side, do it on the bottom. And I'm not being forceful with going in and out. No need for that. Just kind of give it a little bit of pressure up and down. So right off the bat, that is not working. I'm going to lower the steering wheel. And I actually can't see the key now. Just going to wiggle it back and forth a few times. It's making noises in the back. I'm gonna try tapping the back of it. That's the one slightly forceful thing that I'll do here. There we go. So we got it turned. I'm gonna try his key now. Still no. It's a little surprising. I'm gonna try to work it in a little bit more with this key. Should be able to turn it with my hand now. No, not quite. Try that again. So now his key is working. I can't figure out how to turn off the back windshield wiper. Oh, here it is. So as of right now, it's starting up properly. And we will try the other key as well. See if there's any more. Nope. Okay. There we go, problem solved. So now both of his keys are working. I am going to also cut and program him a key, another remote head key. Okay, so one more time I'm going to go over what I did. Pretty much you can put this key in here. Tapping it on the back might work instantly. Just really like getting those jammed wafers loose inside of the ignition lock cylinder. Also giving a little back and forth wiggle. Usually that's what I do. Sometimes the radio keeps turning on. But yeah, tapping and just wiggling back and forth with a fresh cut key that is metal is my best recommendation on that. Do not use the customer's keys unless you're prepared to replace them. And you also can't really grab onto this, so that's just not a good idea in the first place. So just use some pliers. I would recommend vice grips. These are Milwaukee locking pliers. And tap on the back, wiggle it back and forth, use lubricant, be patient with it. Don't force it, really. You're going to need to use a little force. And another thing I did, I used a rake to kind of loosen it up. It seemed like the tapping was the one thing that really made this right, so that might be one thing you want to try. But yeah, I'm going to cut the key now, but this is going to be the end of this video, and then I'll do a separate cutting and programming video for a remote head key for this Dodge. So, alright, that's going to be it for this one. Hope you guys learned something here. Peace.